Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back. Now before we continue, I wanna talk a little bit about energy shield. So when you take damage, first you start to lose your energy shield and then you start to lose life. However, if you take chaos type of damage, it completely ignores energy shield and it goes directly for your life. Now as you can see in our inventory, we can swap between two sets of weapons. And this is really cool because you can put items in the second set of weapons, socket them with gems, and still be able to level those gems up even if you don't use that set of weapons.
Seems like the rain's brought out a few worms. Don't think I'm an easy mark, Exile. I've spent more than enough time around Exiles to know which way the dagger's pointing, and I'll happily give it a shove in your direction if you try anything wormy. I'm conducting a little dig, the sort of enterprise that could make someone with your particular skill set a very handsome living. Don't worry, you'll not be moving much dirt. No. Why smash rocks when you could smash skulls, eh? Hey, mate! What's going on? Came all the way here to see what's what in this famous mine, but there's a bloody big glowing wall blocking it. Can't squeeze through. Stay in the light, Exile.
The time has come, not a cockroach, to crawl up into the bowels of this nightmare, traverse its innards, and rip out its corrupted heart. Oyun will help us. Go on now. Hobnob with the Maraketh matriarch. Learn what needs to be learned, and quickly. There's a filthy darkness down in that mountain, and it's reeking with impatience to meet you. Ta-ta.
You come to us, a woman like us, and yet nothing like us. While we cloak ourselves in tradition and war, you cloak yourself in thaumaturgy and fear. And that is why you will kill the beast within the mountain. Lady Diala has told me this. She has much faith in you, which, the question is, can we Maraketh share in her faith? Sekema Deshret sealed the mines, trapped the nightmare within its black den. The beast should never have been imprisoned. The beast should have been destroyed, yet for all her ferocity, it seemed that Deshret lacked the courage to do so. And now, after 2 centuries guarding this hole in the ground, this Akara lacks the strength. But you are not Deshret, and you are not one of us. You will succeed where we have failed. Deshret's banner will break the seal and open the mines. It was taken from her when she fell to Vol, the brittle emperor. Take the stairs to the southwest, descend to the dried lake. You shall have no trouble finding the brittle emperor. You'll smell him before you see him. Bring Deshret's banner home, and you will be free to pass into the darkness as you wish. The Maraketh once stood united under Deshret's banner. That was before the plagues, the tempests, the corruption. Deshret rode here with this Akara, the Kiyato, to put an end to the beast's curse, and upon the very threshold of the darkness, she faltered. Perhaps she saw that King Kalm had gone there before her and not returned. Or perhaps the nightmare simply overcame Deshret's seemingly indomitable courage. Either way, she chose not to ride into the mountain to slay the beast. She closed and sealed the mines and committed this Akara to Highgate's guardianship. The tempests, the plagues, they passed. Of their own accord, or because of Deshret's seal, we do not know. But what I do know is this. When Deshret vowed to watch over these mines, she simply traded one curse for another. Vol and his unmen have dipped their fleshless claws into the lifeblood of the Maraketh since the day this Akara tethered its roer here. Such is the way with men of war. Remove their tongues, yet still they thirst for blood. Remove their bellies, yet still they hunger for battle. Remove their manhood, yet still they lust for conquest. I will make allies of whomever I deem useful. We have observed the actions of both Blackguard and Exile, and it is Pitaris and Vanya who give meaning to those actions. This Akara has not mixed with other than its own for over 200 years. The outside world has now discovered us, so it is time that we discovered it. Kira has the blood of Deshret in her veins and the bonds of Deshret in her mind. Her loyalty to her Akara is admirable. Her loyalty to the past is not. Diala wishes the beast dead. But why? Why would a nightmare wish to kill a nightmare? A question of great interest, yet little importance. It does not matter why the sun rises and sets, as long as it continues to do so. Our hopes are with you.
I am Tasuni, he who peers into the gloom, who hears the black hearts that thunder within the mountain deep. If you seek enlightenment, find a torch. If you seek to understand the nightmare, I can help feel your way through the darkness. I stare into the eyes of madness, Witch. I see a hunger for power that nightmare would most generously satiate, should you choose to ask it.
Okay, now this is the first NPC where you can trade your divination cards when you get a full set of them.
The Maraketh are stranded in the sandstorm of reflection and regret. We look to Elsakemma to lead us out. Yet the sandstorm is all she knows. She needs me, her eyes and ears in the darkness, but she will never comprehend my gifts. Diala has the form of a woman, yet the substance is 1 part corruption and 9 parts death. One day soon, you will see how lifeless she truly is. Keela rides more swiftly and strikes more truly than any other Dekara here. If only she could learn to think as swiftly as she rides and speak as truly as she strikes. Better and worse are judged not on the talents one prizes, but the talents one needs. Pitaris and Vanya, 2 mouths that speak from one mind. When together, they express some quite interesting thoughts. When apart, well, half a thought isn't really even a thought, is it? The Maraketh speak of his betrayal, but Vol did what he thought was necessary to destroy the beast. Now he wonders the desiccation, tortured as much by his failure as by nightmare. The Red Sakema was the woman who forged what it meant to be Maraketh. A people united, strong. Deshret lit fires in the hearts of women and loins of men. When she fell, so did the Maraketh. We've been falling ever since. Hunt well.
Yes. I've led many a war party against Vol and his unmen, and I've seen too many of my Dekara die. I shall look for your return, but I shall not expect it. As we give strength to the outside, We grow weaker on the inside. First, there was Pataris and Vanya. Now there is you. It shows how little faith Oyan has in us, in her own Akara, that she would treat blackguards and exiles with such admiration. Oyan is my Sikema, my commander. I am her Takara, her warrior. I defend this Akara as Oyan sees fit. Whether Oyan is fit to see what is best for this tribe, it is not for me to say. My mother gave Tasuni to the gods. The gods gave him back, and I thank them for it every day. Given the choice, I would never have chosen Tasuni as my brother. But then, family is not about what you want. It is about what you need. When a woman forgets how to die, a woman forgets how to live. Deshret said that to her Dakara on the day she killed Titusius, scourge of the Maraketh. I say this of Diala. When a woman knows nothing of life, how can she care for the living?
Yes?
Yes.
Diala was there when it all went bad. If anyone can help put things right...
Why would she? Ray class has been like this for almost 300 years. What's made her want to do something about it now?
She's the Gemling Queen, Vanya. There's no way we could understand what goes on in that mind of hers.
I know. And that's precisely what worries me. Oyun gave us a home.
Our lives back.
Appreciate the good ones when you find them in Ray class.
It's not like there are many. Tasuni, he's a con man.
Pataris just doesn't understand him.
I understand that he gets his every need catered for by talking in riddles and telling
The
lies.
truth about the nightmare. He makes sense of the chaos as best he can.
How can we possibly know whether what he's telling us is the truth or not?
We can't. But who else is there to ask? Yes?
Let me tell your future.
Purger of corruption.
Speak. Impatient reekings. They waft to me from that mountain. That's all I can smell. Not a cockroach. Stinking anticipation. Vol the Pure, they called him. Vol the Murderer, I call him. In his name, an emperor was murdered. In his name, an empire was murdered. Yes, it was Malachi's lips that kissed me. Yes, it was Malachi's hand that led me to the rapture. No, no, and no again. It was Vol's words that put me there. Bye-bye.
Tasuni has been corrupted since the day he was born. Maraketh tradition would have it that such a warped child be left upon the moonlit plain for the gods to adopt. Tasuni was not taken by the gods that night. Such a thing has never happened before in our Akara. Now we know why. Tasuni is a man caught between two worlds, our world of light and the beast's world of darkness. He is our scout in the black, and without him, Nightmare would remain beyond our understanding. And an enemy you cannot know is an enemy you cannot fight. Our hopes are with you.
Okay, so now we can go and check out Menagerie.
Welcome to Einar's Menagerie, Exile. This is where I keep the beasts we capture. Do not worry about their well-being. I do not think they will worry about yours. A little humor for you. But seriously, Exile, Einar takes very good care of the beasts we capture. I feed them, clean them, and read them the poems I write. Then, when you are ready, we slaughter them at the blood altar to prove to the first ones that we are worthy of survival. That part is not so friendly to the beasts, but if you read my poetry, you may consider it an act of mercy. Again, humor! My poetry is great. Please, look around. Take your time. But do not feed the animals. That is Einar's job. The arena just north. That is the blood altar. It is where you will perform the ritual of sacrifice by combat. Once you have captured a few beasts, go to the altar in the middle and begin the ritual. The first ones are watching. Show them you are worthy. The arena just north. That is the blood altar. It is where you will perform the ritual of sacrifice by combat. Once you have captured a few beasts, go to the altar in the middle and begin the ritual.
Now here we can check out the beasts that we captured in their cages. here we can choose to craft a recipe. So let's see, we can hide unusable, so we can only see the ones that we can use. So let's see, we can craft a helmet, body armor, and sword, or some chromatic orbs.
The first ones are watching. Disappoint them. Truly a survivor.
And there it is, we got a unique helmet.
The first ones. Don't disappoint them. You are true survivor. The first one. You are truly a survivor. The crunch of bone, the splatter of blood. Is there anything as satisfying? You have proved you're a survivor, and the first ones have rewarded you. Capture more beasts, perform more rituals. This is what we will do, yes? The first ones have many blessings to bestow. We will discover them. Now go, survivor. More beasts await.
So yeah, he explained everything. We capture the beasts, we sacrifice them, and get something in return.
How do I keep ending up in such lovely places? When I'm ready, and not before. Liturgy just keeps getting the better of you, doesn't it, Vol?
I vowed to care for this empire. I vowed to care for this empire with my eyes open. I lied to my people. I lied to myself. Blinded by my lust for purity, I placed my faith in the most corrupt of men. I watch now as my legion dies, their flesh melting from their twisted bones. They fall and rise. A tide of mortal death and eternal damnation. I feel it now in my own flesh. The heat, the corruption. I have failed you, my empire of purity. Do not forgive me, but please, I beg of you, survive me.
Them quickly. The harvest is ready. When I'm ready, and not before.
Look at that! See that? One moment, big blades. Next moment, gone. Should be able to go in there now. Heard this place reeked of voltaxic sulfite back in the day. I was planning on having a wander down there, only I think I can hear things shuffling around down there. And I'm more of a lover than a fighter. Actually, if you're headed in there, maybe you could do us a favour. See, I run a little mining operation of my own. Mining's dangerous at the best of times, but it's suicidal without a proper source of light. I've got lights, just ain't got no power. Run on voltaxic sulfide they do. Nasty rocks. Stink like a dozen eggs rotting in the summer sun on the back of a whale carcass. And they're less stable than the high temper on a bad day. Bloody toxic too. Keep your nostrils peeled for some voltaxic sulfite while you're down there. Or anywhere, really.
Now this guy was added into game as a league mechanic, and soon we will do it.
Greeting. See that? One moment, big blades. Next moment, gone. Should be able to go in there now. Heard this place reeked of voltaxic sulfite back in the day. I was planning on having a wander down there, only I think I can hear things shuffling around down there. And I'm more of a lover than a fighter. Actually, if you're headed in there, maybe you could do us a favour. See, I run a little mining operation of my own. Mining's...
The rapture is our hope, our desperation. It will set the nightmare to boil, cook that nice big fishy in its own whining brine. Listen with all of your ears, not a cockroach. The rapture was Malachi's most wondrous creation, the only fire hot enough to burn the beast from existence. And its fuel? A gemling queen. Blood and flesh and gem. Yet my selfish self did not want to burn away, and so the fire was but a tiny spark. The spark of a cataclysm. I am sorry, my love, my Malachi. Go to it, not a cockroach. Find the rapture. Make me sorry no more. The rapture was to rend open the hide of nightmare and broil the beast's bitter innards in the sweet fire of mortality. The vessel was strong and oh so willing. The medicine was oh so weak. Bye-bye.
The gate is open, and the darkness calls. Good hunting, Cursebreaker.
Now the best golem for me is a carrion golem.
We read the land, learn its stories. Kalm and his warriors entered those mines some 20 years before Deshret sealed the mines and bound our Akara to this mountain. Neither soil nor stone speak of Kalm's return. Perhaps he is dead, or perhaps he merely wishes he was. After all, anything seems possible. Act with care.
The gate is open, and now I hear her voice as clearly as if she was sitting right here with me. Words of a dead woman, reverberating up from the depths of Highgate. A spirit chained, yet not enslaved. Tortured, yet unbroken. That dead woman is Deshret, and our red Sakema longs to return to the dust of her Visteri. Free her, and I shall reward you as my gifts allow. In destroying Vol, you have avenged many a pretty bloodied nose around here. Well done, you. Life will go on.
That would just make life complicated.
What is it, Exile? Deshret lies shackled in the darkness, while I, her blood, am shackled by duty to remain here. Oyan has decreed it. Will it be you then who frees Deshret from her dishonor? Perhaps you will, perhaps you won't. Either way, it is Deshret's fate to suffer at the mercy of injustice. Hundreds of our Dakara have fallen to Vol and his legion throughout the years. They died defending their Akara. Now Vol is gone, killed by an outsider. You bask in the glory, Exile, while I honor the dead. Deshret's banner flies at the mine's entrance, and now the darkness gapes, hungry and expectant. Our red Sakema sealed that gate for a reason, not simply to prevent the beast from reaching out, but to hinder those fools who would disturb its slumber. And here you are, about to be swallowed by that darkness. Let us hope the beast doesn't notice your passing. You will be remembered.
Do you need help with something? Emperor Vol is dead, for good this time.
And the entrance to the mine stands open. I suppose you'll be heading down there to
free us from the sickening supremacy of nightmare.
I was going to say to kick some nightmare ass.
I think I put it better.
Of course you did, sweets. Until next time.
That would just make life complicated.
Not a cockroach.
Yes, Tasuni has informed me of Deshret's existence within the mines, but has been unable to tell me how she comes to be there. Another troubling hole in our knowledge of Nightmare. Regardless of her origins, I will not risk my Dekara in an attempt to free her. Even were she still flesh and blood, I would decide the same. She is our Sikema no longer, and we have fulfilled our duty to her memory many times over. Kira will not agree, yet her revolt will rise only as words. I am her Sikema, and she will not cross me. So, free Deshret if the opportunity arises. It is only right that she be allowed to return to the dust of the Vastiri, but it would be wrong if any should follow her there. Our hopes are with you.
Yes, little mountain. I'm pleased to see you too.
Another good find. This is the stuff. Good nose, Exile. You find more and I'll come right over. Don't touch it though. Stuff will send you mad without the right precautions. You think I want to be dressed like this? Tell you what, how about we take a look around my mine? Talk to me when you're ready to go. Ta-da!
Now, we will do that later.
Another good find.
Oops, clumsy me. When I'm ready, and not before.
Good find, Exile. Welcome.
I think it likes me. When I'm ready, and not before. There are so many more trapped spirits in this place. I can feel them.
Gather them quickly. The harvest is ready.
Don't be frightened, little mountain. It'll all be over soon. When I'm ready, and not before. Our garden swells with life force. Come.
Deshret has ascended and returned, as we all must, to the dust of Vestiri. The Red Sekema's dishonor has passed, and for that, outsider, I will always be grateful. Yet honor lies not in whether an act is committed. Honor lies in how an act is committed. What does it say of the Maraketh when we are forbidden to attend to our own? What does it say of Oyan and her belief in her own blood, our own honor?
Yes?
Yes.
What is it, exile?
The Rapture device has absorbed its fill of harvested life from fury and desire. It is ready. So am I. I know now that I was born to be the end and the beginning of the Empire. The Beast has made this clear to me. As clear and undeniable as the sacrifice I must now make. My Lady Diara, my love, my life's greatest achievement. She must leave me now, for she cannot follow, and she will perish if she remains. And so I will ask of her more than she would ever give. I will betray her. I will break her heart, so that I do not break her soul.
You know, not a cockroach. Had I accepted my place, my rapturous role, the beast would be no more, no less, no anything at all. My selfishness tickled the beast's fancy and it laughed the world I knew away. Yet I have had much time to think on my lonesome, much time to wonder. Wonder if the Rapture really needs to eat a gemling queen. Maybe something else will get its catastrophic juices slavering. Something like eyeball soup, the eye of fury, the eye of desire. Pretty gems for our pretty designs. But where could they be? Don't fret now. I have my suspicions. Calm, the sovereign of slaughter. He remains and suffers his delusions right here in the halls of Nightmare. Fury is all he knows, so fury Calm will have. Deresso, king of swords, damned by desire. Oh, aren't we all? He's down here too, and desire's curse remains his to bear. Go on, not a cockroach. Bring me the crown jewels so that we might wake the Rapture and finally put an end to this pestering beast. Old axe for brains. Calm had Eternals dragged from their homes all over the south coast. Like sheep, he butchered them, no matter how desperately they bleated. He adorned his doorways with the heads of women and children. What makes a hero or a villain? It depends who you ask. The Sword King. Before my time. Beyond my time. Where is time anyway when you need it? Never stand still. That's the problem. Except if you are Deresso. Petrified with love he is. A love he doesn't realize is long, long, long gone. Don't die, please.
I felt it, saw it. The storm of her release. Our red Sekema is free to mingle once more with the red earth of our birthplace. Deshret was the howling wind, the lash and bite of the driving dust. Our wild Vestiri is weakened by her absence no longer. You've done yourself proud today, exile. righted a wrong that we Monarcheth have borne for far too long. And of course, as promised, you shall be rewarded. Nightmare is not without sophistication. In life, Doreso was tortured by frustration and shame. In death, Nightmare has erased his past and forged a dream world in which Doreso would remain contented and loved. What if Nightmare could do that for all of us? Would we really wish to destroy it then? My understanding of Kawom, the man, is that he was a prisoner of his own delusions. Now, he is a prisoner of someone else's. The power of Nightmare to manipulate the soul never ceases to impress me. That could be you one day, should you continue to follow this dark and winding path. Beneath your feet, creation shivers and writhes. It yearns for transformation like a worm in a cocoon that dreams of wings and freedom. A transformation that only the beast can excite. A dark god of ancient sacrifice, a muse to the twisted and vile. The beast, the nightmare, the darkness, names given to it by mortals that think with slugs bound in shells of bone. Yet, one man knew the beast's true name, understood its impenetrable nature. Malachi. I felt it, saw it.
Yes. Diala said but one thing to me before descending into the mines. My love awaits. I know not why, but those 3 words frighten me more than any I have heard in my lifetime. Thank you for doing Deshret so great an honor. Your generosity shall be remembered. Doreso. Yes, Pataras has spoken of him. The disturbing question is this. How does a man who by all accounts has been dead for over 100 years end up as a nightmare monarch in the bowels of Highgate? Unlike Calm, there is utterly no trace of his passing, and we have scouted every footstep of this mountain and its surrounds. There is no other entrance, no physical entrance. Deshret, and now this. Doreso. Yes, most disturbing. Go where you are needed.
Greeting.
Let me tell you.
Doreso? He's down there inside the mountain?
Are we talking about the Doreso, the Sword King?
Seems like it. But how did he get in there? He left Oriath about 1.5 centuries ago, hoping to find a cure for his lady, Merveil. He would have had to fight his way through the Marrakech, but Oyun's never mentioned anything of the sort.
Maybe he didn't go in alive.
What do you mean?
We live in a land where the dead walk and things like Diala live for centuries.
You think he died somewhere else, and then the beast got hold of him?
Could be.
Well, if the beast can do that, then what bloody good was Deshret's seal?
Exactly.
Until next time.
What's...
And we will continue this in the next episode, so if you liked this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.